What's up? I'm Anthony. Let me ask you a question. You ever feel like whenever something good happens to you, it's immediately followed by something bad? Or things start going too good and you just know something bad's about to happen? Maybe your relationship's going well, then out of nowhere, y'all get in a bad fight about something totally insignificant? Or you get some unexpected good news, and before you can even fully enjoy it, your kids do something that drives you crazy? You ever feel like that? All those bad times that seem to pull you back down just when you start to feel good, all the tough breaks and bad luck and accidents and oversights that follow your good fortune. What if I told you that you were unconsciously creating those problems? That's exactly what psychologist and writer Gay Hendricks teaches in his book, The Big Leap. Hendricks refers to this phenomenon as the upper limit problem, or ULP. He argues that each of us subconsciously has a limit to how much positivity we're comfortable with. And once we exceed that limit and we're experiencing more positivity, more success, and more happiness than we're comfortable with, we'll sabotage it. We'll do something, we'll say something, we'll think something that makes us feel bad. And that negativity pulls us back down into our comfort zone. In other words, we limit the amount of happiness we allow ourselves to experience. The upper limit problem. It's the real life version of those dark Kermit memes. If you look for examples of this in other people's lives, you'll find them easily. We've all seen people sabotage their own success and good fortune in terrible ways, ways that make no sense to us. And when it happens, we tend to laugh or judge or ask, why the hell did they do that? They had it made and they blew it. Upper limit problems. Things got too good. A person was flying too high. Things got too positive. So their subconscious, in order to keep them in the zone they're familiar with, literally crashed the whole damn plane. You probably don't have to think too hard to come up with examples of people you know who seemingly had everything, yet crashed and burned. So here's my challenge to you. Find your own upper limit problems. Seeing example in other people's lives is easy, but I want you to raise your level of self-awareness so that you can identify yourself starting to go down a path of negative thoughts, worrying, arguments, blowing up on your kids, drinking or drugs, whatever your ULP behavior is. Are you strong enough to look in the mirror and figure out how you sabotage yourself when things start getting too good? Can you break your addiction to negativity and drama and conflict? You better, if you want to take your life to the next level. And you can. I know you can. You're awake enough and aware enough to see yourself starting to go down that path and catch yourself and consciously choose not to go there. It's challenging, it's humbling, but it's important. Since reading this book, I've identified several of my own nasty little ULPs hiding in the dark, waiting to come out and cause havoc in my life. I told you recently, I have a drinking problem, but now I've stopped, and it's been over 2 months since my last drink. I also have a blaming and criticism problem, which has caused unnecessary stress in my house. Hendricks, who's counseled thousands of couples, points out that most times when couples fight, they're not even fighting about what they think they're fighting about. And even though my wife and I don't fight a lot, I still had pangs of guilt and embarrassment as I read his words and then thought about times I'd complained at my wife over trivial things like leaving a load of laundry in the washing machine. Looking back, it changed the whole vibe of the house. And I can clearly see that the issue wasn't a load of soggy laundry. It was my addiction to some sort of conflict, my commitment to complaining about something, anything. It was just an excuse to pull myself back into my comfort zone of things not being too good. But now I see the game. And I've taken to telling my wife, my kids, and myself, I will not set a limit on the amount of positivity I allow myself to experience today. This book, The Big Leap, is about learning to live your life in what Hendricks refers to as the zone of genius. But to me, this upper limit problem idea was the real gem. It's changed the way I look at negative feelings that arise in me throughout the day. And hopefully this video would do the same for you. Hendricks closes this book with an analogy that I love. He says, the universe will teach us our lessons with the tickle of a feather or with the whomp of a sledgehammer, depending on how open we are to learning that particular lesson. So I challenge you to look at your life with a new understanding and a new level of awareness and choose the feather over the sledgehammer, because everything connects. Love and respect.